Tonight, I want you to slow down with me. Not scroll, not skim, not optimize. Just sit with an idea that might quietly change the way you live. By the end of this, you will know how to host 8 people for less than the cost of one restaurant main. But more importantly, you will understand why that matters. Not just financially, emotionally, socially, even psychologically. Because Gran Betty never believed hosting was about food. She believed it was about stability. Let us begin with a scene. It is 2026. A single bag of rocket costs £5.80. Olive oil is spoken about in hushed tones. A casual dinner out drifts into £45 per person before anyone notices. And yet the cultural pressure to host beautifully has not decreased. If anything, it has intensified. Social media glows. Tables look endless. Everything appears effortless. Gran Betty would look at that and smile. Effortless is just effort done early, she says, and that is the entire philosophy. Most people shop reactively. An event appears on the calendar and they respond with urgency. Urgency is expensive. Urgency is vulnerable to pricing spikes. Urgency makes you accept whatever the shelf tells you the cost is. Gran Betty refused urgency. She stocked for seasons, not events. Before Gran Betty, I shopped for tonight. After Gran Betty, I stock for always. We do not shop for tonight. We stock for always. Let that sink in. When you build a larder intentionally, you are not hoarding. You are smoothing volatility. You are spreading cost across time. You are buying when something is abundant, not when you are desperate. That shift alone changes your posture. Instead of asking, "What can I afford for this dinner?" you ask, "What can I create from what I have already secured?" That question is power. Let us talk about the pantry as infrastructure. Think of it as a quiet investment portfolio. Dried beans, lentils, heritage rice, tinned tomatoes, oils, vinegars, spices, parmesan rinds in the freezer, breadcrumbs in a jar. Each item is a future meal waiting patiently. The richest room in the house is the pantry, Gran Betty says. Why? Because it reduces decision fatigue. It reduces financial shock. It reduces fear. There is neuroscience behind this. When humans perceive scarcity, stress hormones rise. When we perceive stored resources, even modest ones, cortisol lowers. A full cupboard does not just feed you, it steadies you. A full cupboard is a quiet mind. Now let us layer in aesthetics. Gran Betty understood something restaurants know intimately. Perceived value is shaped by environment more than ingredients. White tablecloths, candlelight, height variation, texture. She would lay mismatched china without apology. Matching is for people without a history. Thrifted silver, polished just enough to catch the light. A polished spoon can make a humble soup feel inherited. She never left empty space on the table. This was her full table rule. If there is a gap, fill it. Scarcity whispers, silver shouts. Bowls of walnuts, dried oranges, even uncooked pulses displayed in a dish, not to deceive, to signal abundance. Humans read fullness as safety. An abundant table relaxes guests before the first bite. And here is a subtle but powerful principle. Never let them see the bottom of a serving dish. An empty bowl makes a nervous host. So you design menus that stretch. This is where depth matters. Instead of centering meals around expensive proteins, center them around structure. Grains are structure. Legumes are structure. Root vegetables are structure. Protein becomes an accent, not the headline. A slow-cooked bean and ham hock ragu becomes the centerpiece. It simmers for hours. The starch thickens naturally. The aroma deepens. If it simmers long enough, it sounds expensive. That line is humorous, but it is also true. Time transforms inexpensive ingredients into layered flavor. Labor signals care, care signals value. Restaurants charge £24 for a grain bowl built on lentils and marketing. At home, the same foundation costs less than £1 per portion when sourced intentionally. Add herbs, add texture, add acid, add a drizzle of oil purchased before the spike. You have created depth without drama. Now let us talk about waste, or rather, the elimination of it. Gran Betty called it the resurrection of the crusts. Bread heels became croutons. Parmesan rinds became broth anchors. Slightly tired herbs became sauces. Bruised apples became tarts. Never apologize for simplicity, apologize for waste. There is dignity in extraction, in drawing full value from what you have already purchased. In 2026, new is marketed as superior, but saved is sophisticated. When you reduce waste, you increase margin. When you increase margin, you increase freedom, and freedom is the true luxury. Let me tell you about Composure. I once saw Gran Betty host 8 people with £5.75 in her purse. That was all the liquid cash available that day. She did not rush to a shop. She did not panic. She opened her cupboards. 3 tins. Dried beans soaking from the night before. A half loaf. A rind in the freezer. A jar of preserved lemons bought on discount months earlier. She moved slowly, with intention. By candlelight, the meal felt abundant. A solicitor asked for her caterer's details. She smiled. She did not have a caterer. She had foresight. Bulk is not boring, it is insurance. Insurance against price spikes. Insurance against embarrassment. Insurance against saying no to connection. Now let us move deeper into the psychology of hosting. Why do we fear hosting when prices rise? Because we tie generosity to spending. Gran Betty untied them. Hospitality is not about expenditure. It is about atmosphere, safety, time. People do not remember what you spent. They remember how it felt. They remember laughter echoing off mismatched plates. They remember warmth. They remember leaving full. Security tastes better than status. And here is a subtle shift that changes everything. When you host from a prepared pantry, the cost was absorbed months ago. Emotionally, it feels free. That changes your body language. You are not subconsciously calculating. You are not anxious about leftovers. You are not guarding portions. Calm is contagious. Guests relax when you relax. Now, let us make this practical and layered. Tonight, open your cupboards. Not critically. Curiously. Count how many complete meals are hiding there. Most households are sitting on abundance they have not organized. Then choose one category to deepen over the next month. Perhaps grains, perhaps tinned tomatoes, perhaps oils. Build depth intentionally. Rotate stock. Label dates. Keep visibility high. Abundance is arranged, not purchased. And here is the long game. When you stock for always, invitations become easy. Birthdays do not require financial gymnastics. Unexpected guests are welcomed, not feared. You begin to see your home differently. Not as a place that consumes, but as a place that sustains. In a culture that monetizes everything, sustaining connection without constant spending is radical. This is not about austerity. It is about sovereignty. Inflation will rise again. Supermarkets will adjust prices again. Restaurants will continue charging £45 for pasta. You cannot control that. You can control your shelf. We do not shop for tonight, we stock for always. If this philosophy resonates, if you're craving calm over flash, depth over display, then begin now. Build the cupboard before the next price jump. Polish the spoon. Soak the beans. Light the candle. Comment, Betty Full, if you are strengthening your shelves this week. Share this with the friend who believes hosting requires a credit card. Like this video so more people remember that abundance can be arranged. Subscribe if you want to keep building a life that feels inherited rather than improvised. Watch the rest of Gran Betty's Money Wisdom series right here on the channel, because in the end, Gran Betty is right. A full cupboard is a quiet mind, and a quiet mind sets the most beautiful table of all.